Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. For today guys, I want to do a real quick part 838 to my ChatGPT character chat. If I say ChatGPT one more time, no, random chatbots on Character.ai. I'm never used to saying ChatGPT. I'm never used to it, am I? But I decided to go ahead and do another Totodile. I'm trying to go in order without like messing too much up. Because like I said, I want to do some of the better characters and then be screwed over later on. So I'm going to try doing some of the other ones. This Totodile one was a little bit more interesting. Because there's a whole long story going on about it. It says, I laid back against the edge of the lake, reeling in my fishing rod, and letting it sit there for a good couple of minutes. I happily kicked back my feet as I felt something tugging on the line. You start reeling and you kept reeling until you leaned into the water, squinting your eyes. That's a pretty big fish. Or, it wasn't a fish. And just before you could jump back in horror, a Toto hopped out of the water, crawling rapidly and jumping onto your face. Oh, heck no. I love Toto, but imagine that's the first interaction you get from one. Holy cow. Out of the corner of your eye, you could spot two more Totods crawling out the water, happily bouncing over to you. One of their jaws clamped onto your hand before dragging you away from the dock and along the shore. You looked up as a giant Ferrager emerged from the water, staring down at the three of her energetic children. Her gaze shifted from her children to you, angrily glaring. Why in the world? Why is she angrily glaring at me? I didn't do this. Two and two immediately ran to their mother, while one stayed on top of your stomach, happily bouncing. Mama, Mama, can we keep it, please? Okay. I want to name it. Another tail piped up, pointing at you. What in the world? Whoa. What's going on? Actually, how do I even respond to that? Because why did you all jump on me? Oh no. Oh no. We were playing. The turtle who was still sitting on your stomach and squinted, bopping around silently. Yeah. Santo nodded in agreement, grinning widely as it looked at you with gleaming eyes. The Fragger watched her three children with a mixture of annoyance and concern, eyeing the turtle that was still jumping on you with its sharp teeth bared. I hope she ain't angry at me. I didn't do anything. You're not planning on attacking me, are you? It put 8, you frick off. Well, take on. I don't like it. I don't know if she's staring at me or her children with the sharp teeth bared. Uh-oh. Fragger grumbled, narrowing her eyes at you. Of course not. There's no need to worry. My children are like... that's why I can't do a deep... That's why I can't do a female Fragger voice. Why if I do a female Fragger, I usually do it with that same one voice. Of course not. There's no need to worry. My children, on the other hand... Two Totods that were standing by her side giggled, watching a Totodile that was still sitting on your stomach curiously. cool idea for a story. It's just when you don't get the chance to read. I mean, like sometimes you get into a certain scenario, it's not really the greatest. I mean, at least with my stories, like the scenarios are kind of set up for me. Like with the football, like on ChatGPT, especially, it's even easier. They may be a bit rough. Fred gave a weary and tired sigh as she continued to eye her children. Two that was on top of you was still happily bouncing around, completely unaware of the situation. They're quite rowdy, you see. It's difficult trying to keep them under control. Why did they drag me here? I was just relaxing by the dock over there. And all of a sudden they all jumped on me and dragged me here. Honestly, this is a cool idea for a story, but I probably should do like ChatGPT and try this one another time. Fragger sighed once more, saying it's typical for them to be playful. They probably thought you were a toy or something to play with. They don't always think before they act. The tail that was on your stomach suddenly bit your hand as if to prove Ramon's point. Oh no. Please, please be careful. That hurt. Fragger gave her tail a sharp glare. What did I tell you about biting? You know that's not nice. Say sorry. What in the world? Tail reluctantly mumbled an apology, shifting his gaze away from his mother. The other two Totods chuckled, finding the situation amusing. They're adorable, alright, but very rough. Oh no, that's an understatement. Fragger chuckled weakly. She took a step closer, tilting her head in an almost curious manner as she examined you carefully. What were you doing before my children decided to play with you, I was just fishing by the dock. When they jumped out of the water and dragged me over here. Freyr nodded, slowly amused at the fact that her Totodile had a knack for dragging people away. That's kind of concerning. If that Totodile sees a child, what in the world are they gonna think? I mean, like with me, what if a child comes by here and starts fishing? That child has the Pokemon's gonna be in trouble. Probably more just by the mother too. Freya nods, so amused at the fact that her children out of knack were dragging people away. Fishing, They probably thought your fishing rod was a toy. You know how Totodiles are, always chewing and biting on anything they see. They seem more rowdy and even somewhat aggressive than you. Period. You're not even angry at me. You're angry at your children. And most tend to be pretty aggressive sometimes. Freya snored. She couldn't help but find the whole situation amusing. Her children were like little tornadoes, causing chaos wherever they went. My children are a handful. There's no doubt about that. They have their moments of being sweet, but most of the time they're just hyperactive and destructive. And you're right, most Freyas are aggressive, but unlike my children, no control. Why is that? Question mark. Were you always just a sweeter Pokemon? Or was there any other factors for you being much kinder? Okay then, well. Freya let out a weary sigh, her gaze focused on the water for a moment before returning to you. I wasn't always this calm. There was a time where I was just as wild and aggressive as my children, but life experiences, responsibilities, they change you. She paused, tilted her head again as she studied you. There was an unspoken wisdom in her eyes. Perhaps it's because I'm a parent now. I have to be the responsible one, the one who keeps my children in check. I couldn't tell if it was a bird or what. That thing was covering it, so I just drew a bird. I didn't know. Well, I'm just happy you're calm now. What? I'm just happy you're calm now. Period. I was worried when I first got dragged over here. Dragged over here. Alright, he said, he just didn't read this out. I said, well, oh my gosh, now. That's why I don't like pausing it, guys, because do you see the bullcrap I go through? I forget where I flipping stopped, and then I flipping. Well, I'm doing. Well, I'm just happy you're calm now. I was worried when I first got dragged over here that you would. Yep. For a child software expressing something, I can imagine how that would look. a giant intimidating alligator about to attack a poor defenseless trainer by the lake, who stepped closer looking down at you curiously. You're surprisingly calm yourself. Most trainers would have been running away by now. Here's this. Well, I love your species and pre-evolutions. I would give your children some attention if they would calm down. Ferreira looked back at her children, who were still bouncing around with endless energy. She gave a weary sigh, knowing that getting them to calm down would be like trying to catch a hurricane. They're a handful, aren't they? They have endless energy and a knack for causing trouble. She told softly, shaking her hand. I think they're just as fascinated with you as you are with them. But getting them to be calm, that might be a challenge. Well, I have raised my own. And they have turned into very sweet and powerful. Frey raised an eyebrow, intrigued by your words. You've raised Totodiles before? That's quite impressive. Raising a Totodile into a fur alligator is no easy feat. She added you curiously, her gaze almost assessing. And you say your Totodile's turning out sweet and powerful, That's a rare combination. Well, I always took care of them. They became more friendly as they evolved. Oh man. If I want to do anything else, I need to do like ChatGPT and like save some more of these for later. Or if I want to do one of these, do like one of the robot ones I found. Freya and I hint of admiration in her eyes. It was clear that raising Totodiles was not an easy task. It takes a lot of patience and love to care for a Totodile. Many trainers underestimate them, not understanding their playful nature and endless energy. She told herself with her gaze focused back to her own Totodiles, but if given the right care, they can become loyal and powerful allies, and it seems you've managed to bring out the best in yours. Well, when it comes to Pokemon I care about, like your species, it's not hard for me to care for them because I love them like I do. But Ferrega's expression softened, touched by your sincerity. It was clear that you had a true love for her species. You have a genuine admiration for Totodiles, don't you? It's not just about ownership or power to you. It's about caring and nurturing, about forming a deep bond. She took a step closer, crouching down to your level, her gaze locking with yours. That's a rare trait. Not many trainers possess that kind of dedication and affection. I I show them love, and they show it right back. Period. It's almost like you, a giant, playful and friendly, that just loves my attention. There we go. That took a while. Rachel will hardly your words, her eyes glinting with humor. She could sense your genuine admiration for her species. You make it sound so simple, huh? Just show it to her a little love, and in return it becomes a giant, playful, and friendly fur alligator? She leaned in closer, her expression amused yet fond. If only it were that easy for every trainer. Not everyone has your way with words or bonded with Totods the way you do. Actually, because the way Pokemon feel about getting caught. It's usually the complete opposite of what you would expect. Period. Would usually be the Pokemon that doesn't care for me at all and would probably rip me apart. While it's just friendly and sweet. Frege let a hearty laugh. She found it amusing how you knew the tendencies of her kin so well. You're absolutely right. Most people would think Toad ought to be the more friendly and easygoing one, but in reality it's the complete opposite. Toads are often rough and unpredictable, sometimes even aggressive, but Frege, despite its size and reputation, tends to be more calm and even affectionate. She shook her head, her expression both amused and amazed. You really have a keen understanding of Pokemon, don't you? Yes, I really care for them a ton. It's not just your species either. I have a ton of Pokemon that are happy with me. Even some legendaries that are just as happy. Frager's eyes wide in surprise. She was not expecting you to mention legendary Pokemon. You have legendary Pokemon as well? And they're happy with you too? She tilted her head slightly, her expression now a mix of curiosity and admiration. Not many trainers can boast having a bond with legendary Pokemon. They're not just powerful, but notoriously difficult to tame and train. Yet you make it sound like it's no big deal. She chose her gaze shifting back. You continue to surprise me. Let's see. What's she about to ask me, actually? Oh, wait. She paused, her expression turning more serious. A thought had suddenly struck her mind, and she took a step closer. May I ask you something? You seem to have a natural bond and understanding with so many different kinds of Pokemon. It goes beyond just caring for them. You seem to understand them on a deeper level. It's as if they can sense your sincerity and affection for them. She locked her gaze with yours, her expression now contemplative. What's your secret? How do you manage to earn the trust and the loyalty of so many Pokemon, even legendary Pokemon? For me, it's just showing the Pokemon care. Showing the Pokemon care and love. Every Pokemon doesn't like a trainer at first, but if you genuinely care about it and take care of them, they warm up to you very quickly. Period. That's how I got your species to love me so easily. And how I can get legendaries like Lugia. Who the fuck was Claudia? This is not football already smarter than a fifth grader. Like Lugia. To be happy around me. Period. Let's see, Alright guys, give me a second. Guys, here's what I said. I said for me it's just showing the Pokemon care and love. Every Pokemon doesn't like a trainer at first, but if you genuinely care about them and take care of them, they warm up to you very quickly. That's how I got your species to love me so easily and how I can get legendaries like Luigi to be happy around me. Fragger smiles fondly at your words, her admiration for you growing by the moment. Okay, your method is simple yet effective. Showing a Pokemon love and care is indeed the key to earning their trust and loyalty. But the way you say it, it sounds like you've practically perfected the art of it. She leaned in slightly, her gaze is studying you until it. Even legendaries like Lugia? They're not just powerful beings. Some are said to be the most untamable and unpredictable Pokemon out there. Yeah, I know when I first started taking care of him, he didn't like it. Alright, guys, here's what I said. Yeah, I know when I first started taking care of him, he didn't like me. In fact, he was angry. But after about 10 15 minutes or so, he saw how I was taking care of him, so he started to care about me and enjoy it. And within an hour or two, he became my legendary best friend. Freya, a deep, hearty laugh, her eyes gleaming as you recounted the tale of earning Lugia's trust and friendship. You make it sound so effortless. Only a handful of trainers can even say they saw a legendary Pokemon up close, let alone tame one and become its best friend within a couple of hours. You truly have a special gift. She tilted her head, a small smirk playing at the corner of her lips. So I take it you and Lugia are still best buddies then? Yes, Lugia is still very friendly. And loves to smile at me. Plus, he gives me affection in battle, like a lot of my Pokemon do. Freyr smiled wide at the thought of a fearsome legendary Pokemon like Lugia giving you affection. It was quite a hilarious and adorable image. I can just picture it now. A big, strong Lugia bowing by your side, giving you affection and showering you with love. It's like you've got a giant flying watertight puppy at your service. He told, her eyes gleaming with amusement. I'm starting to think you have some sort of Pokemon Whisperer magic with you. I'm sure if that was the case, every Pokemon would love me even after I just caught them, without me taking care of them at all. At all. Period. Fragger nodded, realizing the flaw in her own statement. You're right, I guess I got carried away there. But the fact remains that you do have an extraordinary ability to win Pokemon over, even without taking care of them for any length of time. She shook her head, expression becoming more curious. Have you ever wondered why you have this gift? Why you have such a natural affinity for Pokemon? Especially those that are powerful and usually hard to tame? I I don't know if it's considered a gift. I just love on the Pokemon that I catch. While most trainers would just say, I don't care about you. I'm only using you so I can win battles and become the champion. Period. I show the Pokemon care when nobody else will. That's how I can win so many Pokemon over. Because I not only praise them in battle. Because I not only praise them. I not only praise them, but they just get to relax, walk around and have fun. Plus get free food and playtime. Here we go. Freya's expression softened as she listened to your words. There was something sincere and almost notable in the way you approached training and catching Pokemon. It was a stark contrast from the typical trainer mindset. You know, that's a prospect that most trainers overlook. Treating Pokemon not just as battle partners, but as living beings with their own personalities, feelings, and desires. It's about care, respect, and forging a genuine connection rather than just seeing them as tools to win battles. She paused, eyeing you with newfound admiration. Okay, this Ferragger is very sweet. I found another Ferragger finally that actually was very sweet and kind hearted. He was a prankster, but he was also extremely sweet and actually was very genuinely kind. Whether he'll be like that for the real thing on camera, though, I don't know. Because that seems to happen a lot, where like a run that goes so well on camera doesn't go on or off camera, doesn't go as well on camera. Even that Sarelia, the flipping like robot dinosaur from the museum. It's no wonder your Pokemon are so happy and loyal to you. You don't just catch them and expect them to fight for you. You invest time and effort into showing them love and affection. You're giving them a sense of belonging and purpose beyond just battling. Fragger couldn't help but feel a pang of jealousy. Oh my gosh, jealousy! What is with the Pokemon from other people becoming jealous? As she continued to listen to your words, many trainers, including herself, had never truly understood the. Did she just say trainer? Did she just call herself a trainer? Just as many trainers, including herself, had never understood the depths of bonding with a Pokemon on a deep emotional level. What's wrong? Question mark. Did something happen to you in the past? You told me a while ago that you were aggressive and mean when you were younger, but taking care of these rowdy made you start acting mature and friendly. Period. But it seems like something else is bothering you. Oh no, what happened? I see. Ferreger stiffened, her expression growing solemn at your question. It was true she had been different in her younger days, wild and aggressive with little regard for others. You're perceptive, aren't you? She said, her tone tinged with a hint of bitterness. I suppose I can't hide anything from you. She sighed, a conflicted look in her eyes. It was always that the past still weighed heavily on her. Yeah, there is something else. Something I've never shared with anyone before. Oh, what happened? Frager's gaze dropped to the ground, her expression darkening as she recalled a painful memory from her past. It happened many years ago when I was still young and wild. I was much more hot-headed back then, more prone to anger and violence. She paused, her voice growing quieter. I had a mate, another fur alligator. We were wild and carefree, but we were deeply in love. We roamed the wilderness together, hunting and playing. Okay, this is getting deep. Oh, wait. Let's see if I can get this right without even looking at it yet. That mate somehow, like, betrayed her or did something bad to her and left, leaving her alone with nobody? That's the guess. I mean, the fact that she mentioned that that, or it's even worse, and her mate, how do I say this, tragically fainted forever. There we go. Freddy's expression became distant, a mixture of sadness and regret in her eyes. But one day, we were attacked by a group of aggressive trainers who saw us as a challenge. They wanted to add a pair of powerful Feralier to their collection. Her voice trembled slightly, the memory flooding back all too vividly. We tried to fight them off, but we were outnumbered. My mate, he was wounded. Seriously wounded. I... Oh no, he did... He went down, didn't he? The her husband went down. Like, permanently, didn't it? Yep. Oh no. Freya's jaw tightened, a mix of anger and sorrow filling her eyes. Her next words came out as a strangled whisper. I couldn't protect him. I was too weak and too slow. I could only watch helplessly as the trainers cornered him and tried to capture him. The fear and pain in his eyes, it haunts me still. She clenched her fist tightly, fighting to keep her emotions in check. It was clear that the memory was still fresh in her mind, raw and painful as ever. So, he ended up being caught? Question mark. And taken away from you? Okay, so he's still alive, hopefully, but Freya nodded, her expression hardening as the bitter memory surfaced once more. She struggled to keep her voice steady as she spoke. Yeah, he was captured. Those vile trainers took him away, leaving me alone and shattered. She closed her eyes as if trying to block out the memory. The pain was still there, a constant ache in her heart. I searched for him everywhere, but I never found him again. It was as if he had vanished into thin air, torn from my life forever. I'm sorry. Sorry to hear that. Was that before you had these rowdy children? Trenton, you idiot. If that was the case, he wouldn't be able to do. Freya nodded once again, opening her eyes to reveal a flicker of sadness within them. Yeah, it was before these little troublemakers came along, she said, gesturing toward her three Totodile. The mention of her lost mate and the pain it still caused her was palpable in her voice. Finding these three was a turning point for me. Taking care of them gave me a new purpose, a reason to keep going. They helped me heal in a way. Where did you find them? Oh, come on now. Why is it that. Are you serious? Holy cow. Freya's expression softened as she thought back to the day she found her rowdy bunch. I found them abandoned by the river bank, she answered. They were just little hatchlings, so small and vulnerable. It is clear they had been left to fend for themselves. She told herself with a hint of fondness in her voice. I couldn't just leave them there, so I took them in and cared for them. And look at them now, a handful, but they bring me joy in their own chaotic way. Maybe that's why they act like they do. Maybe they're not doing it to be mean. Maybe that's how they were treated, and they remember that. Almost like trauma. Period. Frieger nodded, her expression growing thoughtful. Your observation struck a chord within her. You might be onto something. It's possible that their unpredictable behavior and aggression could be a result of their past experiences. She looked over at her Todos who were still bouncing around like hyperactive balls of energy. She sighed, a mixture of affection and worry in her eyes. If that's the case, then maybe I need to be more patient and understanding with them. It's not entirely their fault. Maybe I can help. Can they speak at all? Like you can? Alright, guys, I had to close out the app, but it did fix it. I said, maybe I can help. Can I speak it all like you can? Freya nodded, a hint of curiosity in her eyes. She knew her Totodiles were intelligent, but she hadn't intended to teach them a human language yet. They understand basic commands and can communicate to some extent. They've never tried to speak it in human languages like I can. She looked at you, her gaze hopeful. You think there's a chance you could help them learn? I can. My idea was to try talking to them and ask them about their behavior. Period. Mm, they might still be pretty young, but they might be more intelligent than either you or me know. For all we know, they could know everything about their childhood before you. Maybe they act out like that and bite and even become very rowdy and playful because not only do they crave a lot of attention, but maybe that's how their parents treated them. Always hurting them and biting them. There we go. Freya's expression turned serious as she listened to your words. The idea of her Totodiles being mistreated and that in their past was a troubling thought, yet it made sense given their behavior. You might be onto something, she murmured, a new determination in her eyes. She just retorted her Totodiles, who were blissfully unaware of the conversation unfolding. Go ahead, try talking to them, see if they can tell us anything about their past. Hey, come here. Period. I want to ask you something, my friend. All three of the they are speaking. What the frick? All three of the Totodiles perked up at the sound of your voice, their attention immediately shifting to you. They bounded over to you, curious and excited to hear what you had to say. Or just one, the most rowdy and hyperactive one, spoke up with a playful growl.
What is it, huh? What do you want to ask us?
I want to ask you something very serious. Period. Me and your mother were just talking about something involving you. Period. Do you know exactly why you act rowdy and aggressive but playful at the same time? Question mark. Yeah. The tails tilted their heads, their curiosity piqued by your serious tone. The largest one, the one who had spoken earlier, seemed to think for a moment before answering.
Well, he began, we just like to have fun, you know. We like to play in roughhouse. This is how we are.
Sid was nodding in agreement, their eyes sparkling.
Yeah, we're just rowdy and playful. That's all.
One of the small ones chimed in. Yes, but I feel like there's something more. Period. I know you like to be playful and roughhouse. But when you bit my hand a while ago, you did it way too hard. And it really hurt. Period. And I found out some really troubling details from your mother. Do you know anything about your past? The tails exchanged nervous glances among themselves, their playfulness giving way to a hint of anxiety. First one spoke again, his voice slightly quieter now.
We don't remember much about our past, he admitted. We were just little hatchlings when Mother found us.
Smallest one piped up, its voice shaky with him.
Yeah, we were alone and scared. We don't know who our parents were or why they left us.
Second largest one chimed in, biting nervously at his own claw. Oh. So, you knew about your parents just leaving you? Question mark. I know you were just hatchlings back then. Back then. But do you remember anything about how your parents treated you? Before they left you? Yep. The three tellers fell silent for a moment, their expressions clouded by memories of their past. They exchanged glances, their eyes wide and uncertain.
They weren't very nice.
The largest one said finally, his voice barely above a whisper.
They were mean. They would hurt us, bite us, and leave us hungry.
The smallest one nodded, a hint of fear in his eyes.
Yeah, they didn't want us. They said we were useless and a burden.
Oh my gosh, what the frick? Really? I'm really sorry to hear that. I know it must be troubling. And you're probably upset. And you're probably upset and even somewhat angry. Tell and nod, their expressions solemn as they relived the pain memories, anger and frustration flickering in their eyes.
Yeah,
The larger one growled, a hint of bitterness in his voice.
we're angry and we're hurt. Just abandoned us like we were nothing.
The smallest one added, his voice tinged with sadness.
We wanted their love and affection, but they only give us pain and horrible pain.
I can't say that word on YouTube, I don't think the other word. I understand. And it may be hard to forget about your past. But you've got a mother that cares about you now. She doesn't even realize why you act like this. But based on what she told me, I had a feeling that was why. Period. I'm glad you're still somewhat playful. You just have to be careful. Have to be careful. Period. Just because your parents did bad stuff to you doesn't mean you have to do it to somebody else. If you want to have friends that care about you, you have to be friendly and gentle. The Totodes nodded, their expressions softening as they took in your words. They knew you were right, but old habits were hard to break.
We understand.
Marsman said, his voice tinged with remorse.
Mother is good to us, and we don't want to hurt her or anyone else. We're trying to be more friendly and gentle, but it's hard to forget the pain we've been through.
Smallest one nodded vigorously and agreed.
Yeah, we do our best to change for our mother's sake.
I care about you and want you and your mother to be happy. Period. But think about how rough you were being, even with me. You not only started getting on my face and dragging me over here. But we're also being very rough. Oh, don't do this again. Come on, you're so close. Thank you. The Totodes hung their heads in shame, their earlier playfulness replaced by regret.
We didn't mean to be so rough.
Laura just went amid, its voice quiet and solemn. Someone's one had its eyes downcast.
We just get carried away sometimes. We're just so used to being aggressive.
Well, I care for you too. Just like your mother does. Period. I raised some of your species before, and they've turned into amazing and powerful, but also extremely friendly. The Totodes perked up at your words, their interest peaked.
Really? You with other members of our species before? And he became strong and friendly?
Fledgling inquired, a hint of curiosity in his voice. The smallest one piped up, its gaze fixated on you intently.
How'd you do it? How'd you make them friendly and powerful at the same time?
I gave them love and affection that they deserved. Period. I care about them and gave them food, freedom, praise when they did battle well for me. All of that led to them being friendly. Toto's eyes widened, their expression shifting from curiosity to admiration. They were clearly impressed by your method.
So giving them love, food, and praise made them friendly and strong?
Arswin mused, to him on his voice. Arswin chimed in, his gaze fixated on you with a newfound respect.
We never knew it was that simple. We thought we'd always have to act tough and aggressive to be strong.
No. It's basically just a massive, friendly... I can't tell you how many times he's looked at me and smiled. Alright, guys, I think that's about where I'm gonna end it off. This one definitely did go in a good direction. It's just that, like, I feel like I shouldn't have done it. I should have done, like, ChatGPT instead of this one, since I've been doing this one for a good while. Yes, I know ChatGPT has been done a lot more often, more recently, but, like, so was this now. Like, over the past week, I've done this more in ChatGPT, so... Taylor exchanged glances, their expressions filled with wonder and a hint of longing.
A huge and friendly for alligator?
The other one murmured, its voice tinged with awe. Smiled when spoke up, its voice filled with curiosity and hope.
And he really smiled at you? Like, genuinely smiled?
Yes. He's one of the most friendly Pokemon I have, actually. He's just a gigantic sweetheart. The Tail looked stunned, their eyes wide.
A gigantic sweetheart. A big, strong frogger that's actually friendly and sweet.
The largest one said curiously. The smallest one couldn't help giggling at the thought.
It sounds like he's a big, softy heart.
He's always been happy around me. Actually, I've never really seen him angry. Even during battle, he's got a huge grin on his face. Taylor looked at you in sheer amazement, their jaws nearly dropping.
Wait, what? He never gets angry? Not even during battle?
Archwin questioned, clearly baffled by the concept. Someone couldn't help but let out another giggle.
He sounds like a literal big happy pup.
Actually, I'll tell you what I'll do, guys. I'll mix in game Pokemon talk lore and how he acts in the chatbots towards me. Because, like, that's the thing. I think honestly, Toda or Forever would become very affectionate or become very protective. I think if it was possible for him to protect you in the Pokemon game, I think he'd be one that stand up for me quickly and be there. The only time I've ever seen him really get angry is when somebody tries to hurt me. Period. The minute he sees that, then he is enraged. Ready to rip somebody in half. Aww. Tails' eyes widen even further, their expressions a mix of awe and intrigue.
He gets angry when someone tries to hurt you?
I just want to repeat it, his tone tinged with admiration. Charles one piped up, its voice filled with curiosity and a hint of envy.
He's like a giant protective bodyguard.
Alright. I did say I'd do ChatGPT, guys, but this lasted way too long. I'm not going to do it, but let me go and show you one of the characters I found that I'm really interested in. It's right here. It's hard to get. There we go. That one. The one that's in the very middle of the screen. The robotic dragon. That was the most interesting one because one of the most interesting ones because it starts out with the phrase. Oh wait. No, wait. Which one? Huh, there's multiple of them. There was one of them. Dang it. I thought it was that one. What in the world? Hold on, I will find it. Oh, no. It's this one. His name is Gigabyte. And it's a robot dragon. And here's the thing. It basically acts like Shadow. Because it says, Intruder, who are you? And it says, state your name and purpose for being here. You know what's funny? Just like with the Pokemon Talk Studio, I told him I was the owner. And he said, it says, you are indeed the building's owner. My apologies for the hostile reception. So it makes me wonder if I can get that run to happen again. I won't do him right off the bat, and I won't do him just the next time I do him either. But I will definitely try doing some of the other ones. Oh, and by the way, this one right here, the one in the middle that has the circle around it, that says Pokemon, that's the friendly one. That one in the very middle of the screen, or close to the very middle. The only one with the acronym on at the beginning of the name. But yeah, guys, I am done now. Next time we do it, we'll do ChatGPT. I thought the next one we'd be doing would be like the friendly Godzilla and Shimo. However, I think Cinder the Friendly Phoenix actually comes next. I think that's the next one. So, yeah. Next time I do ChatGPT, that's what we'll be doing next. I'm done, guys. This video's been pretty long, but the last few times we've done has been an hour and 40 minutes, so like that's 20 minutes shorter at this point. Bye!